My alcoholic husband kicked me out of our house while I was 8 months pregnant. I'm a 29-year-old woman, and up until a year ago, I thought my life was on track. I had a stable job, a loving husband, and we were expecting our first child. Balancing work and preparing for motherhood felt overwhelming, but manageable. My husband, whom I'll refer to as H, and I had always dreamed of building a family together. Little did I know, that dream was about to shatter. It started subtly, which was occasional at first, began to increase. At social gatherings, he'd drink more than anyone else, and soon it became a regular part of our evenings. I tried to ignore it, convincing myself that everyone goes through phases. But as weeks turned into months, his behavior grew erratic. He'd come home late, reeking of alcohol, slurring his words, and sometimes he'd disappear for hours without explanation. One Friday night, I came home early from work, eager to share the excitement of our upcoming baby shower. The house was unusually quiet, which I dismissed as him working late. As I walked into the living room, the sight that greeted me was something I couldn't have imagined. The furniture was overturned, pictures were shattered on the floor, and personal items were scattered everywhere. My heart pounded as I searched for him, but he was nowhere to be found. I called his phone repeatedly, but it went straight to voicemail. Panic set in as I realized something was terribly wrong. I grabbed my keys and rushed to the garage, hoping he had left his car to calm down. Instead, I found a note taped to the windshield. "I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving." No signature, no explanation. Just the chilling words that left me standing in the chaos, feeling utterly abandoned. The days that followed were a nightmare. H's absence turned from sporadic to complete. Bills piled up, and the stress of being 8 months pregnant made everything unbearable. I reached out to his family, hoping for some support, but their responses were cold and distant. "He's an adult. He can take care of himself," they said. My pleas for help fell on deaf ears, and I felt more isolated than ever. One morning, I woke up to find our home empty. H had taken everything, our savings, valuables, even the baby clothes we had carefully selected. I was left with nothing but the clothes on my back and the growing life inside me. Desperation gnawed at me as I considered my options. Moving in with my parents wasn't an option. The stigma and their strained relationship with H made it impossible. I needed to find a way to survive on my own. Determined not to let H's betrayal define me, I began to seek help. I contacted a local women's shelter where I was met with understanding and support. They provided me with a temporary place to stay and connected me with resources to help me regain my footing. The staff were compassionate, listening to my story without judgment and offering practical advice on how to navigate the legal and financial challenges ahead. Legal aid was my next step. I met with a lawyer who specialized in domestic issues. She explained my rights and the steps I needed to take to secure a safe environment for myself and my unborn child. Filing for a restraining order was necessary, and she helped me gather the evidence I needed to prove H's instability and the danger he posed. The process was daunting, but having professional support made it manageable. As weeks turned into months, I focused on rebuilding my life. I found a new job with flexible hours, allowing me to attend medical appointments and prepare for the baby. Therapy sessions became a staple in my routine, helping me process the trauma and regain my sense of self-worth. Slowly, I started to see a future where I could be strong for my child, free from H's destructive influence. But the path to healing was anything but straightforward. H's sporadic attempts to reach out, whether through emails or anonymous messages, threatened to pull me back into the turmoil I was desperately trying to escape. Each message was a reminder of the life I once had and the man I once loved, now transformed by addiction and entitlement. I had to find the strength to ignore him, to focus on the new life I was bringing into the world. One evening, as I was organizing baby clothes at the shelter, a woman approached me. She introduced herself as a fellow member of the support group I had recently joined. Her story mirrored mine, betrayed by a husband struggling with alcoholism. We bonded over our shared experiences, finding solace in each other's strength. Together, we vowed to protect our children and create a better future, no matter the obstacles. The turning point came when I decided to confront H legally. With the help of my lawyer, I filed for full custody of our child, ensuring that I had complete control over our living situation and finances. The legal battle was intense, with H attempting to manipulate the court by downplaying his addiction and painting me as an unstable partner. But the evidence was undeniable and the truth prevailed. The judge granted me full custody, recognizing the unsafe environment H had created. In the courtroom, I felt a mix of emotions: relief, sadness, and a newfound sense of empowerment. Hearing the final verdict was bittersweet. It meant freedom from H's grip, but also the end of our shared dreams. As I left the courthouse, the weight of the past year lifted, replaced by hope for the future. With the legal battle behind me, I focused on rebuilding my life from the ground up. The women's shelter had provided a temporary haven, but I knew I needed a permanent solution. I secured an apartment with the help of a housing counselor who guided me through the process of applying for affordable housing and managing my finances. It was a daunting task, but each small victory, paying a bill on time, setting up a savings account, gave me a sense of accomplishment and control. My support group became an essential part of my healing journey. We met weekly, sharing our stories and offering each other encouragement. Hearing others overcome similar struggles inspired me to keep pushing forward. My bond with the woman I met at the shelter, whom I'll call S, grew stronger. Together we navigated the challenges of leaning on each other for strength and understanding. As my due date approached, I prepared for the arrival of my baby with a mixture of excitement and anxiety. The thought of holding my child for the first time was both terrifying and exhilarating. I wanted to create a safe, loving environment, something H had failed to provide. Every decision I made was geared towards ensuring a better future for us. One afternoon, while attending a prenatal class, I met a man named D. He was kind, patient, and genuinely interested in my well-being. Our conversations flowed effortlessly, and I felt a connection I hadn't felt in a long time. D listened as I shared my story, offering support without judgment. Slowly, trust began to build, and I started to envision a life where I could love again without fear. However, H wasn't ready to let go. He continued to interfere, using mutual friends and online platforms to spread rumors and paint me in a negative light. He accused me of being unstable and manipulative, trying to turn others against me. Each accusation felt like a stab, but I refused to let his lies tarnish my reputation. I maintained my composure, relying on the truth and the support of those who knew my side of the story. Determined to protect my child from H's toxicity, I enrolled in a self-defense class. Learning to defend myself physically gave me a sense of empowerment and control. The instructor, a former military officer, emphasized the importance of mental strength as much as physical prowess. Each class ended with a reflection on resilience and the power of the human spirit, reinforcing my determination to overcome the challenges ahead. The day my baby was born was the culmination of a year filled with pain, growth, and transformation. Holding my child for the first time was a moment of pure joy and overwhelming love. All the sleepless nights, the fear, and the uncertainty melted away as I looked into those innocent eyes. I knew that no matter what, I would do everything in my power to protect and nurture this new life. In the months that followed, life began to settle into a new rhythm. I returned to work part-time, balancing my responsibilities as a mother and a professional, and providing emotional support. Our relationship blossomed, built on mutual respect and understanding. For the first time in a long time, I felt hopeful about the future. But H's presence loomed over me like a dark cloud. He would occasionally appear at community events or social gatherings, trying to insert himself into my life. Each encounter was a test of my resolve, but I remained steadfast, focusing on the positive changes I had made. My lawyer advised me to document every interaction, strengthening my case should he attempt to escalate his harassment. One evening, as I was tucking my baby in a bed, S called me in tears. H had vandalized my apartment, smashing windows and leaving threatening messages on the walls. My heart raced as I listened to her recount the details. I felt a surge of fear, but also a renewed determination to stand my ground. I knew I couldn't let H intimidate me any longer. The next day, I contacted the police and filed a report. The evidence was clear, and with the documentation I had gathered, the case against H was solid. The restraining order was reinforced, and the court ordered H to stay away from me and my child. This legal protection was a turning point, providing the security I desperately needed. As time passed, the frequency of H's attacks decreased. But the scars he left behind remained. I focused on healing both physically and emotionally, attending therapy sessions regularly, and engaging in activities that brought me joy. I started painting, finding solace and expressing my emotions through art. Each stroke of the brush was a step towards reclaiming my identity and rebuilding my sense of self. Dee and I grew closer, our relationship deepening as we navigated the challenges of parenthood together. He admired my strength and resilience, and I admired his unwavering support and kindness. Together, we created a nurturing environment for our child, filled with love and security. The nightmares of the past began to fade, replaced by the peaceful reality of our new life. One day, during a routine checkup at the doctor's office, I received unexpected news. A friend of H's had come forward with evidence of his ongoing struggles with alcoholism and his attempts to sabotage my life. This revelation not only solidified my case, but also exposed the extent of his manipulative behavior. The court took this new information seriously, ensuring that H faced the full consequences of his actions. With the legal battles behind me, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. The system had finally recognized the truth, and H was held accountable for his entitled and destructive behavior. My child was safe, and I was free to focus on building a happy, stable life without the shadow of H's alcoholism. The courtroom victory was a pivotal moment in my journey. Seeing H stripped of his ability to interfere legally was a bittersweet triumph. It was a validation of the pain I endured and the strength I found within myself to overcome it. As I walked out of the courthouse with my lawyer, I felt a sense of closure that had eluded me for so long. Life began to feel more manageable as the legal restrictions kept H at bay. I poured my energy into creating a loving home for my child, ensuring that the past didn't dictate our future. The challenges of single motherhood were immense, but the support from Dee and my support group made all the difference. We celebrated small victories together, whether it was a successful day at work or a peaceful evening at home. However, the peace was short-lived. One evening, as I was putting my baby to sleep, the phone rang. It was an unknown number, but something compelled me to answer. To my shock, it was H. His voice was slurred, filled with desperation and anger. "I need to see you. Please just talk." My heart raced. I knew responding could jeopardize everything I had worked for, but a part of me wanted to understand why he couldn't let go. I decided to consult my lawyer before taking any action. She advised me to block his number and maintain all communication through legal channels. Her words echoed in my mind as I made the difficult decision to cut off direct contact completely. And the incident with the call seemed like a distant memory. But the trauma lingered, a reminder that escaping the past wasn't as simple as legal victories and new beginnings. I struggled with moments of doubt and fear, questioning if I was truly free from H's influence. Therapy sessions became even more crucial, helping me navigate these lingering anxieties and reinforcing my resilience. While attending a parenting workshop, I met Elle, a single mother who had faced similar struggles. Her story resonated deeply with mine, and we quickly formed a bond over our shared experiences. Together, we created a support network, offering each other advice and encouragement. These connections were lifelines, providing the emotional sustenance needed to keep moving forward. As my child grew, so did my confidence. I embraced motherhood with a fierce determination to provide a loving and stable environment. The nightmares of the past were gradually replaced by dreams of a bright future. I took pride in the little milestones, first steps, first words, and celebrated each achievement with unwavering joy. But H's presence wasn't entirely eradicated. He continued to find ways to disrupt my life. Using mutual acquaintances to spread rumors and manipulate situations. He'd send anonymous letters, filled with threats and false accusations, attempting to tarnish my reputation. Each letter was a test of my strength, but I refused to let his venomous words penetrate the walls I had built around myself. Determined to end the harassment once and for all, I took proactive measures. I installed security cameras around my home, ensuring that any further attempts to intimidate me would be documented. I also increased my involvement in community activities, building a network of allies who could vouch for my character and support me in times of need. One evening, as I was reviewing the footage from my security cameras, I noticed a familiar figure lurking outside my window. It was H, his face twisted with anger and desperation. My heart pounded as I watched him try to force his way into my home. Instinctively, I called the police, who arrived swiftly to apprehend him. This time, there was no denying his malicious intent. The authorities took immediate action, and H was finally detained for his repeated violations of the restraining order. The incident marked the end of H's attempts to control my life. With him finally out of reach, I felt an immense sense of relief and liberation that had plagued me were replaced by a newfound peace. I could fully embrace my role as a mother, free from the shadows of my past. As months turned into years, the wounds of betrayal and abandonment began to heal. My child thrived in the loving environment we had created, and I continued to build a life filled with joy and purpose. The support networks I had established provided a strong foundation, allowing me to navigate the complexities of single motherhood with grace and resilience. D and I's relationship deepened, evolving into a partnership built on mutual respect and unwavering support. Together, we faced the challenges of parenthood, celebrating each milestone and overcoming each obstacle as a team. Our bond was a testament to the power of love and the strength found in shared adversity. One day, while attending a community event, I was approached by a woman who had been following my story through the support group. She shared how my journey had inspired her to seek help and reclaim her own life from an abusive relationship. Her words touched me deeply, reaffirming the impact of my experiences and the importance of sharing our stories. Encouraged by her feedback, I decided to become more involved in advocacy work. I began speaking at local events, sharing my story to raise awareness about domestic abuse and the importance of support systems. My message was one of hope and resilience, emphasizing that no one deserves to be treated with such entitlement and cruelty. Through my advocacy, I connected with others who had faced similar struggles, creating a ripple effect of empowerment and healing. Together, we worked to dismantle the stigma surrounding abuse and to provide resources for those in need. The community we built was a beacon of hope, demonstrating that even in the darkest times, there is a path to healing and strength. As I reflect on my journey, I realize how far I've come from the depths of betrayal and despair. I emerged stronger and more determined than ever to protect and nurture my child. The challenges I faced were daunting, but they forged a resilience that I never knew I possessed. Each step forward was a victory, a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome even the most insurmountable obstacles. Years have passed since that tumultuous time in my life, and the scars have faded, replaced by the strength and wisdom gained from my experiences. My child, now a vibrant and happy toddler, is a constant reminder of the resilience that carried me through the darkest days. The journey was arduous, but it shaped me into a woman who knows her worth and the importance of standing up for herself and her loved ones. My advocacy work has grown, allowing me to reach a wider audience and make a more significant impact. I collaborate with local organizations to provide workshops and support groups, ensuring that others have access to the resources they need to break free from abusive relationships. The gratitude and success stories from those have helped fuel my passion, driving me to continue this important work. Dee and I have built a life together that is grounded in love, trust, and mutual respect. Our relationship is a stark contrast to the chaos that once defined my marriage. We support each other's dreams and aspirations, creating a partnership that is both fulfilling and empowering. Together we navigate the challenges of parenthood, celebrating each moment of growth and joy with unwavering commitment. The legal battles with H are a distant memory, but the lessons learned remain ever present. I ensure that my child grows up understanding the importance of self-respect and the strength found in adversity. We share stories of resilience and the power of community, fostering an environment of love and support. One evening, as I sat with Dee watching our child play in the living room, I reflected on the journey that brought us here. The sleepless nights, the fear, the determination to protect my child. All of it had led to this moment of peace and happiness. I realized that revenge wasn't about sinking to H's level. It was about reclaiming my life and ensuring that his entitled and destructive behavior had lasting consequences. H's actions had forced me to confront my own strength and resilience. By standing up against his manipulation and entitlement, I had not only protected myself, but also created a legacy of empowerment for my child. The legal repercussions he faced were just the beginning. His career suffered irreparably, his reputation tarnished by his own actions. The community support system rallied around me, ensuring that his attempts to undermine my life were met with solidarity and understanding. The restraining order was enforced strictly, preventing any further attempts at harassment or control. H was required to attend counseling sessions and remained under close surveillance, ensuring that he couldn't disrupt our lives any further. The legal system had finally held him accountable, providing a sense of justice that had long eluded me. As I continued to grow personally and professionally, I found new avenues for healing and expression. Painting became a therapeutic outlet, allowing me to channel my emotions into vibrant canvases that reflected my journey. Each artwork was a symbol of the battles fought and the victories won, a testament to the power of creativity in the healing process. My involvement in the community deepened, and I took on a leadership role within the advocacy group. Organizing events, mentoring new members, and sharing my story became integral parts of my identity. I realized that my pain could be transformed into a source of strength for others, turning personal tragedy into collective empowerment. One day, while attending a conference on domestic abuse prevention, I met a woman whose story was strikingly similar to mine. Her name was A, and she had recently escaped an abusive relationship. As we shared our experiences, I saw a reflection of my past in her eyes. It was a powerful reminder of the ongoing struggle many face and the importance of continued advocacy and support. Our conversation sparked an idea to create a mentorship program within our support group, pairing survivors with those newly escaping abusive situations. The program aimed to provide personalized guidance, fostering a sense of community and shared strength. The initiative was met with overwhelming support, further solidifying our impact on the lives of others. As the years progressed, my child grew into a curious and compassionate child, embodying the resilience and love that defined our family. Watching them interact with the world around them filled me with pride and hope, knowing that the environment we had created would allow them to thrive without fear or uncertainty. Reflecting on my journey, I recognized that the revenge I sought was not about retaliation, but about reclaiming my life and ensuring that those who wronged me faced the consequences of their actions. It was about transforming pain into purpose, using my experiences to fuel a mission of empowerment and support for others. The satisfaction of seeing H face the repercussions of his entitled behavior is balanced by the fulfillment of knowing that my actions have paved the way for a better future for myself, my child, and countless others who have walked a similar path. Justice was served not through vengeance, but through resilience, strength, and unwavering determination to create a life of love and security. In the end, my story is one of triumph over adversity, a testament to the human spirit's capacity to heal and grow. It underscores the importance of standing up against manipulation and entitlement, and the profound impact that support systems and community can have on an individual's journey. My journey has reinforced my belief in the power of resilience, the necessity of self-love, and the unbreakable bonds of community. As I look forward to the future, I carry with me the lessons learned and the strength gained from overcoming the darkest moments of my life. My child's laughter, the love of those around me, and the fulfillment of helping others navigate their own struggles serve as daily reminders of the resilience that defines us all.